My name is Ashley DePace. I'm a program secretary for Towpath Industries at Schoharie County ARC. I worked with Excel spreadsheets, which as far as with modern technology and how far we've come today, it was difficult at times. There was a lot of room for error. It was difficult to, you had to make sure you were in the right column, the right row, the decimal places were in the correct placement. It was frustrating. It was very time consuming. Ultimately, you got it done, but again, it left a lot of room for error, and with error comes more time to go back and fix everything. Without Vertex, it was basically the data entry. You entered in the hours, because it was just a consistent, it was based on an hourly wage, it was minimum wage. You entered in the hours, and you had to have the correct formulas so that it processed that and came up with the correct amount for how much they got paid. Anywhere from 2 to 3 full workdays, 8-hour workdays, between the data entry, the reviewing, going back, making corrections, sending it up above, and then bringing it back to make corrections again. It was a constant. I would say anywhere from 2 to 3 days would be a good approximation. Full days. With Vertex, it's very simple. My data entry takes maybe in total a day and a half, if that. On any given day, it definitely is a much less time-consuming process. It was very easy for me to learn how to use it. It was very easy for me to be able to show others how to use it, and the cool, neat little things that you can do, especially with the reporting aspect. As far as accuracy, it's definitely close to 100% every time. Like, I love that aspect about it. I don't have to be worried about second guessing myself. And with the reporting, you can see before you transmit payroll, before you do anything like that, to make sure that you did it correctly. And it's easy to compare the two versus just looking at one blank spreadsheet. Employee productivity is a very popular report. To see kind of where the consumers are at, what kind of work they're doing, how much they're getting paid, also how well they're doing with the work that they're doing. Depending, if we have consumers who are, somewhere in the 3 to 5% range, all the way up to, consumers who are reaching close to 100%. And it gives you a chance to really take a look at that and see the difference, and also see their progress as well. It's also beneficial, like I said, for any kind of Medicaid billing, because it gives you hard copy documentation of the ongoings of what's going on in the program, and it gives them something hard to look at that says, okay, these are the hours they're working, these are the jobs they're working, this is what they're getting paid for. Usually that's what people want to see, as opposed to figures calculated on an Excel sheet. So the integration with ADP is always spot on. It's always 100%. It's never given me any issues as long as I've been here. It's very quick. It's a completely simple process. You basically, a couple clicks of the mouse and you're done. And then after that, it's all ADP from there. I myself have only had to call maybe once or twice for any kind of support. And anytime I have, it's always been extremely helpful. I love the function where the people on your end can take a look at what's going on your screen at your computer from however far away and tell you what the problem is, help you figure it out, help you work through it. That kind of hands-on approach is extremely helpful, especially when you need that second set of eyes, or that someone who's a little bit more knowledgeable in what they're doing with that to say, hey, you can do this instead, or here's this shortcut, or maybe you did this entry wrong, let's work on this. The problems were solved generally immediately. Everyone who I spoke to was very knowledgeable, and if they weren't sure or didn't know, they made sure that they got me to someone who did, which I greatly appreciate that. I do generally try to figure it out myself, because I have found that because Vertex is so easy to use, you can generally figure things out on your own, play with it a little bit, figure out shortcuts or take a look and see what you're doing wrong and realize, oh, this is how it's supposed to be done, because like I said, it's very simple, it's very cut and dry, very easy to transition into. I absolutely would recommend them, especially any kind of piece rate work. It makes it so much easier, so much less time consuming. The reports are great, very beneficial to all staff who need to use them. Very easy to read, very easy to process. A lot of options as far as what you want to include and what you don't. So easy to learn, easy to use. That would probably be my biggest tagline for it, because it really was. It was very easy for me to transition. I didn't need a whole lot of training one-on-one. It was pretty simplified, very easy to use, not a whole lot of room for error. And if there is error, it's so easy to catch. So it's definitely a very nice feature.